Hello everybody, here's another tutorial. This time we're going to continue our series in beginner's tutorial on massive, and we're going to go ahead and talk about LFOs and the performer. So we're gonna talk about okay, hold up. Give me a second here. Alright. So we're gonna talk about LFOs and explain them. So here in massive we have the ability to modulate just about anything that has a knob or has essentially a knob or has this square box here. So you can also modulate pitches as well as knobs. And the way we do this is right now, as you can see, I have a sound that has full volume of sustain. And what we can do is we can, if we wanted to, modulate the amplitude of the sound. What we do is, as you saw, we click here, and once we click here, we're able to drag and assign it to any of these brackets here. And then what we can do is we can actually click down on it and either scroll up or down, and that determines if the knob is going to first oscillate up or down. Now, what dictates this is the waveform that we choose to oscillate. So right now, if we were to listen to the sound, it would sound like this. And then what's happening is literally this. I can mute this by either right clicking and right clicking and muting, and literally is doing this. And the reason why it's doing that is because it's following this waveform. So this waveform is literally the equivalent of me doing this to it. It's happening in that manner, at that rate, whichever rate that is. If we wanted to synchronize the LFO to the rate of our track, in this case for 1 bar, and let's move this to dubstep tempo, typical dubstep tempo 140. Well, right now I was actually playing this filter, my bad. Now it's half a bar. Literally just double the speed of that modulation. That's a quarter bar, quarter note. Now bear in mind, this is synchronized with our tempo. So if our tempo is lower, it would sound a little slower, but it's a quarter note at 140 BPM. So that's why it sounds like that. Now we can, like I said, we can add this modulation to anything at all. So if, let's say, we're gonna add a filter. Let's add a daft. You can immediately tell that this daft filter adds a little character to the sound, even though it's not really filtering anything out at the moment. But yeah, like, let's filter this. So right now our sound is filtered, and we can add this LFO to the cutoff, just like that. And you can already see that it's actually doing what we showed you earlier, is moving that knob like that. Now we can literally choose a different waveform that will modulate the knob. So instead of doing smooth, you know, sine wave modulation, it could do sawtooth. It could be very rapid in nature. Literally just doing a sawtooth modulation. So it'll actually sound different. Immediately you can tell the difference. How the harshness of the sound. It sounds like it's being plucked. You know, kind of like the pluck that we made in the first tutorial I showed you guys on amplitude modulation. However, this is a filter making this sort of sound, and in essence it's different in character because it's actually filtering out a sound frequencies instead of the sound being modulated in amplitude. So essentially this LFO is a kind of envelope. I mean, envelopes and LFOs are different in a sense, but it can reproduce sounds that are similar in nature. So let's try out a square. Literally, you can tell that it's going from one extreme to the other in milliseconds time or even less, and it's just it's kind of like doing a gating effect. So and then we could also see the triangle. Now, this is all theoretical and all and technical, but I'm just trying to explain to you guys like exactly what is going on. But ultimately, trust your ears and, you know, leave all this technical crap at home. You know, or bear it in mind if you like when you produce. But ultimately, your ears will let you know. But the technicalities, they may help, and if you're a technical person and you like me, like you need to just know what's going on in order to help you make certain sounds. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna help, but don't get too lost in it. You know, just trust your ears ultimately. This amp knob, it's kind of like a mix knob. It's like an intensity knob as to how, like, it's gonna basically mix the dry signal, the signal that's not processed or being affected by the LFO, and the affected signal of the LFO sound, so you can actually mix and find like a happy medium between the non-LFO signal and the LFO signal. And the resonance, as I showed you in the other tutorial on filters, if it enhances the frequencies right at the cutoff, and this determines how much that frequency is enhanced. Also, you got these presetted waveforms. They sound different, each of them, and they're all kind of derived from the natural waveforms, the natural 4 here. These are essentially maths, the gods of waveforms in math. Like, you know, if you've taken trigonometry, calculus, or whatever, you know these. You probably had to graph them 1,000 times at school or whatever. So these are just derivatives of the natural waveforms that are commonly used in sound engineering and sound design and all that. So just play around with them. Ultimately, once you learn these 4, you can go ahead and venture and just figure out like, oh, these are nasty and they're cool or whatnot. And then yeah, you can mix also. So you can literally mix these 2 signals. So ultimately you have a 3 because you have the non-LFO. This one will be active if you put it in the middle, and then this one will mix between the dry non-LFO signal and the LFO signal. And it just add a different nature to the whole LFO to wobble bass, as they say. You know. So, this internal envelope. Now, not many people on YouTube. I mean, only some. I haven't really seen many talk about this internal envelope here, and it's cool because if we were to unsync this, we can literally click on here and drag this AD envelope here, AD attack decay, yeah, and this is kind of like a little tiny, yeah, like it says, an internal envelope, and we can actually modulate the rate. I'm pretty sure you guys heard that. What's happening is it's slowing down, and the reason for that is because this is controlling this knob. So attack means that this is going to start out here. So it has fast attack, meaning that this modulation is this knob is literally going to go right here at a faster rate, and over time gradually decrease in rate, and decrease up until it's right here where the knob is present. So let's make this very extreme, and so you guys can actually hear how it decays over time. We'll make it decay a little bit faster. It's very obvious. And basically, yeah, that's what this allows you to do. The opposite is also true. Instead of it slowing down, we can make it speed up. And it will speed up until I mean, yeah, let's see if it. Yeah, so you saw if the decay is at infinity, it'll just continue. It'll stay at the highest peak of this illustration right here, and it'll stay there forever as long as the note is held. If not, if you put it here, it'll restart. So that's basically the LFO feature here. That's all the features here. Restart means that when the note is triggered again, let's say you have a MIDI, if it's triggered again, it'll actually restart the LFO and play through the LFO once again. Sync, as you saw, will sync the ratio, meaning if you wanted to travel in quarter notes all the way up until 30-second notes, it gives you that sound. And of course, you move the cutoff to your taste, and it'll sound better if this permits it, if that ratio permits it. Position, not quite sure, to be honest. Position, my guess is that it will, I guess, I'm not sure at all, I'm sorry. But yeah, also you can move these. As you saw, you can move them, and it'll create it'll actually change the starting position of the LFO, and how you and where the knob begins to turn, if it's right or left first. Use your ears. That's the key. Yeah. So you see, you can figure out if you use your ears. Um, I'm basically giving. Oh yeah. Also, you can use another LFO to LFO some internal features here, and you click and drag, and you do the same, and you mix between, and it'll actually give different character and all that. But just bear in mind, you gotta experiment. You gotta just spend some time on it. But for the most part, I've given you the best in-depth tutorial I can on the LFO features here inside of Massive. I really hope they help. I'm sorry if you know these tutorials drag on. I'm just trying to condense a lot of information within a 10-minute or 15-minute time frame. So if I didn't cover absolutely everything, just ask me a question. If I can answer it, I will try my best. Um, I'll try and see if maybe I can even research and learn something from you guys. So thanks a lot. I mean, I really do enjoy making these tutorials. I enjoy teaching you guys on how to use this because, I mean, um, I was lucky enough to learn from my other friends and teachers and all that. So thanks again. Please remember, follow us on Instagram, subscribe our YouTube channel, listen to our tunes on SoundCloud, and that's it.